Hey, how's everyone doing? This is Oz with Oz Mechanics, and on today's video, we have this 2015 Jeep Renegade right behind me. So the issue with this Jeep Renegade, customer actually brought it on the flatbed. He said he couldn't move it out of park, so basically he had to put a screwdriver down there to get it out. After I fixed that issue up, he told me, hey, it's not over. You have a parasitic draw. So how about in today's video, we try to figure out this issue and give the vehicle back to the customer. All right, so we're inside the vehicle right now, and as you can see, everything is off. So let me tell you a little story on this vehicle right here. So this vehicle actually got towed, or it was in the flatbed, and it got towed to my shop, and the customer brought it over because he said he just recently bought this vehicle about a month ago, and after that he let someone borrow it, and the battery died, and then afterwards he couldn't get out of the park. So he was blaming the person that he let them borrow it, and yeah, he just said, man, they messed up my vehicle, can you fix it up? And I said, okay, cool. And before he brought it over, I did some research, and I found out on these, whenever there's a battery drain and you hook up some cables, sometimes it loses its program to the TCM. So what I did find out on this one, and I did not film this because I did it right in-house when he dropped it off. I was trying to be Mr. Superman. So I went ahead and found out that it said ECU mismatch, and basically saying that the TCM was not initialized. So what I did, I'm going to show you, I got my Top Down Phoenix Max right here. I don't have the codes anymore, but all I did was go to special functions, and then after that I did a proxy alignment. Once I did the proxy alignment, everything shook hands and everything was a-okay. Sorry I didn't show that process, but after that was done, now we can actually shift. And that's why he had this off. He had to put a screwdriver right there to manually shift it. Other than that, he couldn't move it. But he had all this stuff off too. So I finally said, okay, here you go. We're ready to go. And he told me, hold up a second. We still have a parasitic draw. And if you can kind of look at that. So what we need to do is fix up this parasitic draw, because if not, he's going to keep on having the same issues if they try to jump start it where it loses connectivity. I don't know why it does that. I read a couple of forums. They did the same issue, and the proxy alignment would fix it up. So the main thing is that we got to fix up this parasitic draw. But like I said, all this is disconnected. I'm not too sure who got into it. Was it the customer? Was it someone else? I'm not too sure. We're going to do our test, and we're going to see exactly what we find out. And let's see what we get. Let's see exactly what amp draw we have, because he told me in about 1 day she's done. So he keeps on coming in outside, starting the vehicle so he can get it running. So let's go to the front. Whoop. All right, so we're underneath the hood right now. And this is actually really cool. Look at this. So now we don't have to take off the size 10 or anything like that. Let's talk a little bit about parasitic draw. I know I've made a couple of videos about parasitic draw, but why do we call it parasitic draw? So parasitic, I get it off of parasite. It eats away the voltage. It's like a little parasite. It just kind of nibbles on the voltage or takes away from the voltage. And this is what's doing right here. Basically is depleting the voltage from the battery by something staying on. And that's what we need to figure out. I did my little research on this, and there's 3 fuse boxes right here, and I don't like their location. So we have fuse box number 1, which shows do not pressure wash. Let's see fuse box number 2. And I'm pretty sure this is why they did this, because it is somewhere down here. And then fuse box number 3. Okay, there you go. That's fuse box number 3. All right, so let's go to the front where our battery's at. And what we're gonna do, this is just the way I like to do it. I've made videos before where I use different types of approaches on how to do this. And my favorite is this way. I like to disconnect this, have my meter on amperage, and make sure don't do this mistake that I always do. Make sure one is on the COM and the other one is on A for amperage. And I like to disconnect this, make sure that they do not touch, and one lead is going to be on the connector, another one on the post. As you can see, it shows negative. All you need to do to take away that, take that off, just reverse them. I know some people get OCD about it. They don't like to see that, but there you go. All right, so this is literally a 1.7 amp draw, almost close to 2 amps. That is insane to think of that. But look, check this out. One interesting thing that you're going to see about this, I don't know if you noticed that, it was about 1.7, would drop down to 1.4, 1. And then it goes right back up. Now we're going to talk about different approaches. How do you want to do this test? How do you want to start testing this amp draw? This might get a couple of people mad, but I normally do old school kind of way. And when you ask what is old school, I just remove the fuses. I know there's going to be a lot of keyboard warriors right now or other technicians out there that are going to say, hey, that's going to disrupt the system. Okay, if it disrupts the system, I'm going on a different approach. That's going to be my way. It's just when I was doing my prelim checks and I started seeing that this is like that. Imagine trying to stick your leads in there to do a voltage drop test between the fuses. That's going to be really hard. And especially the one inside too, we couldn't even see how that looked. So that's where I'm going to do it this way. We're going to see how it goes. If we start seeing differences right here where we remove a fuse and it bumps up to 4 amps or something like that, I'll do it a different way. But normally whenever I start a parasitic draw test, I'm pulling fuses. I'm sorry if it offends anyone, but that's the way I do it. I'm a little bit old school. All right, so what we're gonna do first, we're gonna attack this. The only thing is right here, as you can see, I don't know if I showed you that, this says do not pressure wash. So by any chance, if this was slightly open and water got in, is there a good chance that that's what caused the problem? Possibility. I have a couple of these to remove the fuse. Like I said, I'm having a hard time with this to remove fuses. Imagine putting our test leads down there. Then we have these right here. I don't like these, but I did buy something. It was actually a Harbor Freight, really freaking cool. And with this one, I can actually fit right in there and pull fuses. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and pull these. Like I said, if I see something that I do not like or that might compromise our testing, I'm gonna go ahead and do our other approach. But this being a 2015, I don't see any problems. All right, we're gonna start taking off fuses. As you can see, we have the max fuses, the J case, and then the mini fuses. I'm gonna start with the easiest ones, and then we're gonna start taking those off and then go from there. I like going from the top down. I don't know if you can catch that. There's some fuses up here. I like doing J case last. And sometimes you'll be lucky enough that you will pull all of them, and there's the last freaking fuse that's it. Like I said, you can mix and match too, so this 90 I think is going to be good. All right, cool. All right, so we have a 70 amp fuse. Well, we did find a 70 amp fuse, and that is going to be fuse number F2. Fuse number F2. You see, people are getting mad at me for pulling fuses, but look at me. All right. And sometimes I like to hold them there for a second, just to see if we see anything. There's not a lot of fuses here, but I'm sorry if I put my body right in front of there because I want to make sure I get all of them. And I know I can't see right here. Okay, so between the maxi fuses and the smaller fuses, nothing. Now the tricky one is these J case fuses. So these right here, those are a little tricky. If you try to grab them, the window's gonna fall off. What I like to do is I like to use this and kind of pry. All right, nothing on that one. All right. Oh, I heard something come off. All right, that was not the fuse causing that. All right, this is off and nothing there. Hold up. What just happened here? Okay, that went down. All right, this is a 4, fuse 4. Okay, hey, she turned off. Look, check that out. No more draw. Okay, so this is fuse number 4, and then fuse number F2. Let me see if I put this on, what happens. All right, there's our draw again. Remove this. Come on, baby. Shut down. There you go. No more draw. So let's go to our wiring diagram, and we got to see where fuse 4 is at and fuse 2. Let's go check that out. This is amazing. Let's see what we have. All right, so we are still having a 0 draw. This is amazing. So this is a Renegade 2.4, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a limited. All right, so we're gonna go to a wiring diagram, and then we're gonna do power distribution. That's what we need to do. We gotta find this fuse. There you go, power distribution center, left side of the engine compartment. And like I said, it's a fuse 4 and a fuse 2. So if we look right here, fuse 4, that's gonna be going to analog brakes, okay? Yeah, 2 and 4, right, we already had 4. Yeah, 4 is right there, which is the 20 amp, and then the 2, 60 amp. And these aren't right. It's a 20 amp, and then the 60. Yeah, they're off. Okay, that's a 70. All right, and then the other one is a body control module. So one is an ABS, and another one's a body control module. So if we go right here, so as you can see, it goes right there, and then it makes its way up to ignition run relay and fuse B and fuse B. What the heck is going on? So let's just do something. Let's stick this sucker back in there, see what happens. This is the BCM. You see, that's the one that has a major draw. Look at that. And that's the one that keeps on going up and down and so on. Can we have 2 modules that are bad? What is going on right here? 2 modules are staying awake. Normally when you have a parasitic draw, it's going to be 1 module, not 2. Let's see if the BCM has anything to do with the ABS module. So if we go here, go to analog brake system, let's see if it intertwines with the BCM. There you go. Analog does go to the BCM. So let's see where this goes to. So this BCM right here, it has 2 fuses, and it's a 1, and then the other one actually just goes straight to the traction control switch. And then the other one goes right here to number 1, which I believe goes, yeah, to the BCM. But then it goes off right here down to parking brake switch, base of parking brake lever. Okay, where are these right here? That's the only thing I see that has any connectivity. So, you know, this goes body control module to the analog brake. Just doesn't make any sense. So you got these 2 fuses that power that up. Let's do something. I'm gonna put the ABS light on, and we're gonna see if we can remove these 2 fuses right here. There's a 42 and a 49, and I want to see if that one goes to sleep. Look, we got some activity, and we have our fuses off. So now we have some voltage. What the heck is going on now? This is not cool. I want to see if I can put this fuse back on there and remove these 2, 42 and 49. 42 and 49. So 49 is 1, 2, 3, third one, and then 42 is the 5th one. Let's go do that. I'm kind of curious what's going to happen. So I want to put this back. See, it went up. So let's go underneath, and I want to see exactly what we find out when we go underneath there. So let's check this out. Let's go to 42, 49. That's the 3rd and 5th one, and let's see what we get. All right. I don't know if you can catch those fuses. They are right there. So we have a 42 and 49. 1, 2, 3. Take that off, and then the 5th one. All right, those are gone, and I have my multimeter still hooked up right here. What the heck? Because we go on here and look at that. Okay, this is a little tricky right here. Let me put the camera down. Let me really think about this, because like I said, I just don't see 2 modules causing this problem. But what is in the middle of these? Like what's intertwined with these? I removed these 2 fuses right here. I don't know. let me think about this. I'm gonna get back to y'all, and I'm gonna think of something, and we're gonna go from there. I just right now I can't wrap my head around this. Okay, so let me think about this a little bit more. There's a BCM and an ABS module. Can they both be bad? Is that the reason that they sold it? I don't know. Let's check it out. Let's see what we think. I don't know. I'm gonna think about this. Holy freaking A. I can't believe I ran into this. So check this out. So remember this that was disconnected. While I was, sitting right here, I realized that the traction control is actually this one. And check this out. Try to do this. You see, look at that. It started going down. But then we're going to remove the last one, traction control. Check this out. I waited a little bit longer, and look at that. Oh God, this can't be that easy. But why the heck would they have this out like that? And why would they put it back or whatsoever? So while I was waiting right here, I remember working on the car before. Look what's next to this. And this is electronic right there. Imagine someone having a cold drink like a Starbucks and, and then I went a little bit further in. Look at all that gunk right there. Ah, jeez. Well, look at this. After I disconnect my top-down Phoenix Max, as you can see, there you go. It did drop. I went ahead, put all the fuses back on. Everything's on, and look at that. It is at 0. This is freaking cool, man. And while I was waiting for my phone to charge up, as you can see, all the fuses are on there. As I was waiting for my phone to charge up, I did look this up and I called. And guess what? They don't have a date when they can sell me one of these. So I don't know when I can get this. Luckily, the customer, I called him over. He's already here. He told me, man, I don't even use this, but I don't want to have that gaping hole right there. So we're going to go ahead and leave it like that because he doesn't even use traction. He said he just wants to drive it for the meanwhile. I'm going to go ahead and order this and see when I can get it. The only issue is, as you can see right here, this is broken as well. So I have to get this piece. All right, so there you go. Look, I'm just going to show you something real quick. I put the middle one on and immediately went up. But like I said, this is, if we can zoom in right there, you can see gunk, man. So yeah, thanks to maybe Starbucks or energy drinks, that's what's causing the parasitic drop. But as you can see, is already dropping. So this is crazy. So there you go. That's the video. Unconventional. This is it was like a pure luck, man, but not too much of a luck because that was open. It was off. I should have gone to this. I don't know. People, I'm pretty sure the Warriors are gonna tell me, hey Oz, you dummy, didn't you notice that? End of the day, I try to do my test and go through it, and especially when I'm doing these videos, how fun would it be if I just made a video and took it off like that? I don't know. I like to do my test, and let me know down below what you think overall, and let me know on the testing procedures that I do when I pull the fuses. Is it something that you do? If not, comment down below. Let me know your procedures, and let me know why or why not, why you don't like using that procedure, or why you love using that procedure. I told you my reason, and I'm gonna stick to it. So there you go. It's going down. She's looking like a fix. Customer's about to take it right now. So if you do like this video, don't forget to put a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell to get all brand new videos coming out from Oz Mechanics. Y'all take care. Y'all have a nice day. Goodbye.